So one of my habits of self-mastery is inculcating patterns of thought that generate an identity for myself that lead to actions that create the results that I want, right? So some people call them affirmations, but mostly that's just beating themselves against the head with an idea they don't really believe. So there's a bit more depth to it than that. I've got hours of recordings of webinars that I've done explaining how to do this. But anyway, my point in this video is sharing how recently, starting today actually, I've started declaring to myself who my wife is. I'm speaking into my mind the ideas of her that she wants to be for herself. Because the way I relate to marriage is that we are so much of a union that like my thoughts actually influence and her thoughts influence mine. Like our opinions about ourselves and about the world don't live in autonomously inside each other's brains. We actually live and breathe each other's thinking so much. If I get sick, she gets sick. If I eat crap food, she eats crap food. If I eat great food, she eats great food. Like, let's not deny the reality of the interdependence of our being together. And so if I'm not going to do that, and if she's going to be declaring who she is, then my thoughts influence her so much that the one way I can support her is by declaring who she is inside my mind. Let me create the neural synaptic connections that generate patterns of her identity and my perspective, because my perspective actually influences her perspective. Let's not pretend it doesn't. So my practice now, in service of my wife and our union and what we're creating together, is to declare to myself who she is, the words born from what she wants for herself. I can support her in that in the same way that I choose to eat healthier foods when she's trying to, so that I can help her. So what does that even look like? What does it sound like? Well, one of my wife's things that she declares about herself, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this with you, it's just a little one, is that I am strong. She's telling herself that she's strong. She values strength. She wants to see herself that way because it helps her to take actions that lead to being that, right? I am strong. And so I say to myself, starting lately, this morning probably was the first time that I even did it, I am that Kalpna is strong. And I feel into it, and I look for evidence that it's true, and I contemplate how that's true and where that's true, and all the different meanings of strong, and I dwell on it, and I make it real for me. I am that Kalpna is strong. The more I see her this way, the more I relate to her that way, the more I encourage patterns that that's true for her, the more she believes it, and the more she believes it, back and forth, and it's a beautiful thing. This is co-creation. This is interdependence. This is true union, not just two halves of a whole, but like a yin-yang, right? Like a folding into, an integration. I love it. I love it. What if you were to not just affirm who you are, to declare who you are, but you were to do it for the people closest to you too, for what they want, because you acknowledge the influence your neurology has over theirs. It feels good to me. Let's see what happens. Try it. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.